Hello everyone and welcome back to Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I am One Wild Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are tackling the last of the Chocolate Island world and heading into the Valley of Bowser, baby. Da, 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 da. So yeah, it's going to be such a fantastic ride. But to start things off, ladies and gentlemen, you might notice we are inside a sunken airship, or a sunken ghost ship, if you will. This is actually one of those ships that was in Super Mario Bros. 3, if you don't remember. This is one of those ships that got shot down by Mario and Luigi, you know, back in the day, back when we stopped good old King Koopa Bowser in the Mushroom Kingdom War, you know? And, it's covered in ghosts! Oh, mamma mia! So, basically, the aim of the game by here is dodge all the ghosts and just plain be careful. Now, the ghosts do warp in certain patterns, but there's usually not always that many free spaces for you to, you know, to swim in and be safe. So what I recommend is simply swim around, and if a ghost looks like it's about to spawn up on you, just mash the jump button. Mash the jump button like your life depends on it, because chances are your life does depend on it, and you're gonna need to swim all the way up to try and find a safety area. You know, it's a bit tricksy. But honestly, the stage isn't that hard. It's actually quite an easy little level. And in fact, we're almost pretty much done with it right now, ladies and gentlemen. We also get, I like this little sequence by here, because we also get this power star where we can just free fall. Free falling! And while we're free falling down here, well, obviously, because we have the power up, we can actually hit all these enemies and what have you to gain access to one-ups, you know, more one-ups the better. And also the coins also help out in that regard, you know. But just continue falling. Eventually you come down here, meet this question mark thing that, if you remember Mario Bros. 3, if you touch it, something interesting will happen. So let's touch it, and we can move on with the rest of the game.
Oh, what is happening? Oh, mamma mia! Mario! Nothing is terrifying.
Now, well, into the belly of the beast we go. Welcome to the Valley of Bowser, baby. And yes, I always have to reference the song, the Garden of Eden. But basically, this is the hardest set of levels you'll find in the game, bar the special world, which we are getting to, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing the special worlds, but I want to take on the majority of the Valley of Bowser beforehand, you know. Now, when I say the majority of the Valley of Bowser, basically what I'm talking about is I'm going to be clearing every Valley of Bowser level all the way up until the final stage, you know, the final boss. When I get to the final boss, then I'm not going to do that right away. I'm going to go straight on up to the special world, because it's such a special time. Oh, get it? But we are introduced to Monty moles, and these guys are basically gigantic moles with sunshades on. How can they see through those things? I have no idea. Actually, then again, aren't moles meant to be blind? That's probably how they can see through the things, they just know. So, what you're going to want to do is simply just jump on these guys' heads whenever they come by and jump over them, because you cannot kill these guys. And hey, 3-up moon. It's not often we see 3-up moons in this game, now that I think about it. It's like 2 to 3 instances at most where we see this item. It's quite a rarity. Quite saddening as well, because I would like to see the 3-up moon utilized a bit more. Maybe when Mario Maker comes out, people will utilize that thing more, but then again, Mario Maker's a game where you can make your own levels, so 1-ups won't really be an issue in that, will it? You die? Just click restart. But I digress. Be careful of all these charging trucks as well, because they can be a bit of a nuisance, but overall, this stage is actually pretty damn easy. Most of the Valley of Bowser, I have to be honest, is really, really simple to get through. Like, I had much more issues in Chocolate Island than I have in this world. It's quite strange. I don't know if I'm alone in this one, because I know a lot of people do have struggles with the Valley of Bowser, especially with the Fortress level, because the Fortresses are like the hardest levels in the entire game, you know? But anyway, this stage by here might give some people, if they remember playing this back in the day as kids, some nightmares. I know it gives me nightmares, I mean, Jesus Christ. Because, well, you know these sand thingies that are popping up and down? Well, you're going to come into one of these things later on that what'll happen is it can crush you. And the best way to get through there is the time you jump, well, not even jumps, time you're running correctly to go to certain areas before you get crushed. And it's, I'll talk more about it when we get to that section, but let's face it, it gave me nightmares as a wee lad. I cried and panicked a whole lot.
Oh no.
Whoa. Okay, that's a dick move. Okay, you don't place an enemy off the screen where it can still hit me. Come on, put the hitbox on the enemy when they're on screen. Please, Nintendo. It's goodbye. It's good Nintendo. But I digress. Let's just continue moving. Now, that wing thing, I think we've shown one of them off previously with Yoshi. You need Yoshi to use that thing, so otherwise it's just gonna sort of be there. So don't worry too much about it unless you get Yoshi in a sequence. And this here is what I was talking about.
Oh no. Crashing sequence. Oh, mamma mia.
So yeah, crushing sequence. Now, you have to go through this crushing sequence by timing the time that you run, so you run at certain areas at this perfectly correct time. If you get this wrong, you're gonna die. So just do what I do, run at the same moment I do, and you should get through without much of an issue. I'd hate to see this from Mario or Luigi's perspective, though. It must be the most frightening thing possible.
Oh, mamma mia, I got a crashing block. Oh no. Wah!
But seriously, this is it's kind of boring because it's more of a waiting game, really, but it is very tense when you're actually playing, because you do need to get the timing on this down perfectly. If you miss, if you mess up and single instance of this, you're going to die. So just continue running and you should be fine. And if you go the same path that I'm going, you should be fine as well. It's a cool thing. We won't be facing a crushing defeat at the hands of the sand, would we? Yes, rather. Tally-ho, chap, old bean. I like the music. I have stretched upon the music a bit earlier on in the playthrough, but I really have to emphasize the soundtrack in this game is just godlike. Like, even though almost every song in this game is a remix of a previous song in the game. Oh, that was too close for comfort. It works, they made it work. Everything might be a remix, but you can never really tell that every song is a remix, and it goes to show that's how good a soundtrack is. Like, if you can make a single song the entire soundtrack and make you not care that it's the entire soundtrack because it sounds so good, that's an accomplishment. So Nintendo really accomplished with the soundtrack in this game. I have to be perfectly honest. It's just so cool, Anyway, for this section by here, run fast, because you will get crushed if you don't. Jump all the way up above this sequence by here, and there's a key. Now, be careful, because I have jumped into that pit before. Just tiny little pit to the left, and I know many other people have done that as well, and it's no good just going,
It's time to get the secret exit. Oh, wah!
boop, and then you're dead. So just be a bit careful of that, guys. Although, one thing that I just learnt is the Monty Moles can actually get killed with the cape. I honestly did not know that. I didn't even realize I killed him when I was playing the level.
Well, that's a bit of a bonus for Ouija, Oh boy.
But I digress. There's another stage done and dusted, and considering we got both the secret and normal exits, we have a choice of the ghost house or the fortress. Obviously, we're going to go to the hard level first, because this fortress, my god. Oh my god. I don't think it's as hard as the fortress in the Castle of Illusion. But Jesus Christ, is this thing challenging. You got the crushing dildos of death all over again.
Oh no, not these things again. Oh, mamma mia.
But yeah, you gotta deal with these things again, and they're no cool. Remember what I said last time, folks, so if you get crushed by these things, it's instant death, so just try and avoid them any which way you can. But one thing I do advise is using the cape if you can actually get in this stage, because ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I'm not sure if I've really brought up earlier on in the playthrough, the cape is literally the only way you can kill dry bones and all the skeletal all the undead enemies in the game, you know. So I recommend getting the cape if possible, but
Oh, I was a lucky bastard. I almost got the kill.
I was literally 1 inch away from getting killed. I can't believe that. But yeah, try and keep the cape for as long as you can. That's mainly the aim of this stage, you know. Although I guess that's the aim of this game as a whole, because getting the cape is just I win, you lose button, you know. Because then you can just sort of mash the attack buttons. You'd be going,
I spin myself right round, baby, right round like a record.
but oh. Anyway, like I said, this stage looks intimidating, but it's really not as bad as the last fortress. Well, not even the last fortress. The fortress in Castle of Illusion. You know, it's still a fairly simple feat to get through. So, time for the very last appearance of Reznor. That was a weird. I went into like what's that president's name? Nixon. President Nixon voiced him.
Oh, those Nixons on there. Resnor's.
But anyway, we have access now to the back door of Bowser's castle, which means we can actually skip the entirety of his normal castle if we so chose. And we can actually go ahead and just beat Bowser right away. Well, having an entrance to the back of his castle is probably the stupidest thing he could install in his castle, mind you, but it's there. It's there. He's a bit of a square. Oh, yeah, I get it, cause But anyway, just be careful here, because we got loads of these antimatter bubblegum orbs yet again, and of course, touching them is no good. You know, I called bullshit on that last hit, because I should have not taken damage. Oh well. Anyway, this ghost house by here does have 2 exits, and it's actually one of the hardest exits in the entire game. So what I advise is get the start at the very start of this room by here, leg it all the way to the right, and you get a nice extra 1-up as well. You know, it's very simple. And don't take the very last door. Take the door before the last door in order to go to the normal exit of the ghost house. Very simple, you might think.
The secret exit is a pain in the absolute arsehole. I will tell you that much. Oh, the times I've had trying to get through the secret exit. You would not even believe how many hours I've spent.
Needless to say, I spent a lot of hours in that room. But anyway, back to the secret area, because we do need a cape in order to gain access to the secret exit. Well, we don't need the cape, but trust me, the cape helps. Oh boy, the cape really helps getting hold of the secret exit.
So here we go.
I didn't really cut straight to the secret exit like I normally do with these ghost houses, because this ghost house is actually very, very short, you know, it's such a tiny little area. So, through the door! And just hit the P switch to make the blocks visible again, and okie dokie. Now, we might be wondering, why are we going the same direction and not going left? Well, we could go left and get to the same area, but now we're going to take the very final door, I believe. Yep, now we're taking the final door of this level in order to gain access to the room. Like I said, there's 2 entrances to this room, and taking this entrance will allow us to get hold of a P switch. And if we take this P switch, we need to manipulate this trail of coins. Now, I don't know if I actually talked about how these trail of coins work before, but they work on directional input. So, just so make a staircase sort of thing with your D-pad, and hopefully you've made the staircase thing right. You need to guess whether you made it right. I made it wrong, but this is why I brought the cape with me, because having a cape will make it so much easier, because you can just sort of hover down very slowly and just squeeze yourself in to get the key. It's a neat little trick. Not many people I know actually know to use that trick. I've seen so many LPs of this game where people just get sort of stuck up there like,
I'm stuck. Oh no, I can't get into the hall.
Because they never thought, oh, I could get a cape. Oh, that's genius. But I digress.
Yoshi, no!
Again, it's another easy stage by here. Now, these platforms are quite unique in that as you can tell, there's a timer on the platform. The platform will stay floating in the air and moving horizontally for the amount of time that the timer shows. So we're going on second left, and then when the second goes, then we're out of time. And the stage, again, very easy, very simple platforming challenge. And I don't know what happened really to the difficulty. Maybe I'm pretty convinced that maybe I died a lot in Chocolate Island purely because I was tired at the time. I'm not actually sure because I recorded this entire game in one session, so I should still be tired if that's the case. But then again, I do have a break between recording sessions, so I probably had a long break and then came back to the game. I don't know. It's been months since I recorded this footage, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I have to say, these slanted platforms, and we've seen a couple of them before, I believe, they look extremely out of place in this game, don't they? Well, at least not even in this game. They just, considering the levels we're in, the aesthetics of these sort of green and brownish platforms, they just look out of place. They look like something more out of Yoshi's Island, the sequel game, which isn't really close in gameplay to Mario World. Don't worry, folks. I'll get to Yoshi's Island at some point. Just, I'm not treating the Yoshi games as a part of the Mario franchise. You know, every time I get to a Yoshi game, I'm going to treat it as its own series. So I'm not really doing those in chronological order, like, alongside the Mario games. Because after this Mario game, ladies and gentlemen, and the Mario World Land, because I really want to do that, I'm going to go straight to Mario 64, you know? And that's a game I can't wait to get to because it's such a good game to LP, you know? It's such a fun time. Every person on their mother's LP did on the planet, but it's so good, you know? It's a genuine classic. Okie dokie, got another L. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this part, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and when we return next time, we will continue with the rest of the Valley of Bowser, baby! So yeah, I'll catch you all then. Bye!